back out at the river a few miles from my house. You guys, David over here. Boy, it's been raining, huh? Take a look at this. Last time we were here, the puppies were just little. They're almost 7 months old now. I left my selfie stick home. I grabbed the screwdriver instead. I don't know what in the world. I don't know why I would do that. Like, how does a screwdriver look like a selfie stick? I don't know. Yeah, see, it's just flooded. So I'm holding it up with my hands, and so it might not be as smooth as normal, but then again, it's not usually ever very normal or smooth. But the dogs don't mind, do they? They're water dogs. Even Buster's a water dog now, huh? They all got their collars on too. Got them all. Had to make. Boy, things are getting expensive. I was gonna get a leash for each one of them, not because I want to put them on a leash. I may never even ever use it. Don't be flashing me, silly. Oh, that dog's a water dog. Whoo, she just loves water. But I just got it because, you know, to keep legal. Like if I'm out walking the dogs and the ranger says, "What are you doing?" And I go, "Oh, they got off the leash real quick. You know, I have my pocket right here." I don't know. So I went to just a regular store, and they had some leashes, and they're like, I don't know, like $25 for, that would have been like $75 for 3 leashes. It's just ridiculous. So I had some rope, and I went to Walmart and got a little metal thing. I got 3 of them for $3 that clips on. And I had gotten these collars for like $1 each at down at this other store. So that was real cheap. So they all have collars with a little metal loop, and then I just tied the rope onto that thing that you clip on with it, and then made a nice little loop at the end to hold on to, and braided it a little bit and everything. I've got 3 like 15-foot leashes. It cost me like about $10 for all 3 of them. And I like it better than the ones you'd get at the store. I mean, it's almost the same thing anyway, because a lot of them are made out of that nylon rope. Oh, I don't know if you can hear me. The wind's blowing pretty good. One of the warmer days we've had, nice and warm, probably up to almost 55, 60 a day. So I'm holding this, and my hand gets tired holding this thing. But yeah, winter is a lot different now, don't it? When we were out here in the spring and the summer. Well, in the summer. But it's still pretty. Oh, it's bamboo. I like bamboo for a lot of reasons. I wish I had bamboo on the property in New Mexico, but I don't think it grows a lot there because it's not as wet there. There's not a lot of water. But you know, you can use bamboo to build all kinds of things, you know. You can make pipe out of it. It's just so useful. I've been watching these little YouTube videos of people that would, you know, they build these little cabins or huts or whatever, and some of them look like people in the Philippines or over in Indonesia or somewhere. I don't know where these people are building these neat little abodes. A lot of times they'll use bamboo, and it's really cool how you can use that wood to build with. All 3 of these dogs about the same size, I guess. And they all got different daddies, and I mean, they're just mixed with everything. On the mommy side, which she was a little short Datsun, and her daddy, so that would be their grandpa on the mother's side, is a big old huge Labrador that was mixed with red heeler or something. I don't know, it was like a rusty colored Labrador, but it was supposed to be heeler. But it was a pretty good sized dog, like a good sized Labrador. Quite sturdy, that dog. So, and then I did see a husky hook up with her. So I was thinking that Buster is a black husky, but now I don't know, because I've seen another dog over there that looks like him, but he's not a husky. But he's all black and he looks like Buster, but who knows what they got in him. The other two have a little bit of a shepherd or something in it. And I did see there's one of the dogs that's nearby there over across in that rock factory over across the street. They got about 20 dogs over there. And one of them that I see a couple of them that kind of look sheepdogish. And if you notice, Maggie's got a lot of kind of curlyish hair. And one of the puppies that looked like Maggie but was a little bigger had the kind of more thicker, longer hair like a sheepdog. So she's got some sheepdog in her, I think. And the sheepdog across the street is a real sheepdog looking thing. Kind of muddish, but about 75% sheepdog. You know, with those long, they get the hair in their eyes, they're big. So her brother, she's a girl, looked a lot like Maggie, but more like a sheepdog. Same coloring. Oh, I don't know why, when I get outside, I feel better. And you tend to, you know, if you have a cabin in town, a place that, you know, near you with electric and all the comforts of home, you tend to sit around more than you should, watching TV or something in the evenings. But where I'm going to go now, you know, I'll be sitting around a campfire, chopping wood, throwing wood on the fire. You know, you're always kind of busy. So much better a lifestyle, I think, to live. I don't think humans were meant to live in a plush little apartment. It's like living in a prison, willingly. But they got the prison door open. You can go in and out when you want, kinda. Although I guess they're going to have the lockdowns pretty quick. They're going to be calling them environmental lockdowns or something. When the air is bad, or and they're doing these tests. They're doing it in London, I think, and several other big cities. They're rolling out these tests, and they're going to have everybody locked down and see how they react, I guess. I'm convinced that everything we've been going through, I was telling somebody the other day, and I've said this before, others have said it, but we've just forgotten about it. Like, this was going on several years ago, but I remember when it happened with Sandy Hook, but I also remember another couple of them. I actually did a video, and I got my channel shut down because I showed that video. But one of them was in California, I remember, and they were saying, it was some big shooting or something, and they were saying that they had a drill. There was a drill going on. It was announced, everybody knew it was a drill. It wasn't going to be real. They were going to have a drill, like a fire drill, like just a pretend crisis. And the people that were living there were like, well, the next day, while they were having the drill, all of a sudden the television came on and said it was real. And I believe beyond a doubt, I know that it was a drill. And that's why it was called a drill, because it really was a drill. They just didn't tell the American people. And all these things that you see, what they call false wavy things on a pole that we've been going through, all of them have been drills. And now I found out a couple days ago, most of you probably heard this, you may have heard this too, that this thing in Ohio where the trains wrecked and they released these chemicals. A week before it happened, they sent out messages to people, I think farmers and stuff in the area and different people, telling them that it was going to happen. And they gave them these little, I don't know, monitors to test the air and the water or something. And it was a drill. They were supposed to test the water, and after it happened, see how it went. And of course, on the news, they're monitoring the reaction that people are having. So they're probably going to do some more of these drills. So don't start thinking any of this is real. Now, it could be that they anticipate these things happening on a world scale, because one could always imagine that maybe they have some knowledge of some extreme events, maybe maybe they don't mean for it. Like maybe they believe maybe there could be war. They think China could hit us or Russia, and they want to prepare and see what'll happen if it did happen, and how they could, how they'll be able to react to it. Maybe if they get a good reaction, then they'll actually go do it real or something, and they'll claim that Russia just hit us or China or something, and they'll tell us, oh yeah, it's really biological warfare, it just happened. And I mean, I could see where they wouldn't just do this without testing it first, because what happens if they did some crazy thing like this and dropped something on some city here in the United States, and then the public totally went crazy and started blaming the government, and there's uprisings, and we found out the truth, and they got blamed and went after them. They got to make sure they're safe from us, the people. They don't want us to find out, so they just kind of, I think it probably serves a lot of different purposes. Number one, if we keep seeing these little tests, little drills, then when the big ones hit, we'll be used to it by then, I guess. The dog's got to jump in the water and get all muddy and then jump on me. Had jumped on me the whole time we've been walking, but he jumped in the big mud puddle and then he wanted to jump on me. Silly dog. That's all right. Just a little mud, huh? So then, I know, that's all that's on my mind is this weird stuff that I've been hearing, because it's so shocking. It's ridiculous. I can't believe that people aren't talking about this everywhere. And not just talking about it, but being really upset and phoning their congressmen and certainly not going down and voting some more. Let's vote some more. It works, right? We know that. Shoot, we've been voting for years, and look how much advancement we're making. I always get the good guys. Reagan was a good guy. Well, we couldn't figure that out at the time. He was an actor, so I don't think we're ever going to wake up on that end. But I just heard this little girl. I think I vaguely remember that she came up missing. I guess it was 5 years ago, or no, let's see. Some years ago, I guess. I think her name was Madeline or something. Some of you may know who I mean. I think it's Madeline. Well, she was like 2 or 3 or 4 years old when she went missing, I guess. Or, I don't know, 5 years old, who knows. And I didn't know this, but it was a German girl. They call her a German girl. Well, there's another little girl now that's the right age. It's been several years. And she's found out, I guess, in the last year or so, that her mother, who claimed to be her mother, and her dad and her family, are not her mother and family. They start, and then she started asking questions as she got a little older, and they wouldn't answer her. Then she found something in the paper about this little girl being missing in her area, and she recognized him as like somebody like an uncle or that the parents would allow her to go with this uncle or this other grandpa or something, and he would abuse her, but she didn't want to talk about it. And she said she thinks her mother was abusing her too, but she doesn't want to talk about it. And so she says she's dismantling this lost girl, but she can't remember. And they're all like, well, she can't remember, then it can't be her. Well, how many people remember when they're 4 or 5 years old? I don't remember hardly anything when I was 4 or 5 years old. I mean, you have little memories like flashes, but you don't connect all of the dots sometimes when you're little with all these memories. So I don't think that's unusual at all. But she's putting it all together now. She's beginning to remember the abuse, and so she feels that she is this person. And then the mother and father that lost their kid, they're like, nah, we're not going to take a DNA test. Go away, you bother us, kid. And I'm thinking, I'm putting all this together, right? Germany, they're Bavarians. And now they're the person that's of interest in this somebody that she kind of recognizes as the abuser. Not her new mom and dad. And she's never been, and she asked her to see her birth certificate. Her mother wouldn't show it to her. Gets mad at her when she starts asking questions. But it's odd because the government's not like right on it, getting her out of the home, testing her, questioning her, nothing. She's having to go on social media and tell the world this, and the authorities don't care. And I believe her life's in danger, because I don't think it's just one little child. She says that, well, the authorities have got this person of interest now, and they say he's probably involved in some kind of child pedophilia ring. So, like I said, guys, Bavaria, watch very carefully. We need to expose these guys. If something could happen where we could expose the hornet's nest, if we could get a lead out into the public and find some, I mean, hey, we did it with Epstein, and yet they just killed him or sent him off to an island and pretended he committed suicide. So that's why I'm really worried about this little girl's life. She's out against her mother's wishes and the police, I guess. I don't think they were really interested. But she's trying to get somebody to believe her, and she's on social media. She's doing interviews, just local, like regular YouTubers that she's reached out to or something. They better be careful, because, well, I mean, you have to. You have to risk your life to expose these kinds of things. I'm proud of these people that are doing it. But I'm quite worried about her life. Because I'm quite sure that this is not just some missing child. It is a pedophilia ring that they've stumbled on. It may be the hornet's nest, because it's over there in Bavaria, and the mother and father doesn't even want DNA tests. They're like, oh, go away, go away. And I'm sure they get the police on it right now, saying, okay, how can we hush this up? We've got to get this kid, take her somewhere where she can't talk no more. And then you will never hear about it again, unless somebody says something. We've got to get this story out there. So I'm talking about it. I can't get in more trouble than I already am. They got me shadow banned so bad now that I have a feeling that the angels in heaven have informed the demons that they cannot at this time remove me. But I'm not saying that's for sure, but I've had some clues, definitely. But they definitely are not going to promote me, that's for sure. But wow, This is not supposed to be river water. This is all flooding. It's all flooding. Oh, these dogs are having a ball. They love going on their walks. In a week, we're leaving in about a week. Once we get there, we'll be able to walk every day, huh? Right up behind the house. Oh, these trees. I wish I could take some of these kind of trees with me. You know. Just a little of this water to New Mexico. You know. At least, you know, to my property. Because I could use some of this wood to build with. This dog just cannot stop. I mean, this dog just loves water like it's, you know, like he's a fish. I mean, you can see it in his eyes, in her eyes, when she gets in the water. She's just gleeful. It's like, yay! It's like the little girl that has to stomp through the puddles in her raincoat on the Morton salt shaker, whatever, you know. She just loves to get in the water. And that's not an instinct that every animal or... Well, some people are like that, but I've never been like that. I like to be near water. I love water, but I don't want to get in it much. You know? I mean, when I was a kid, I used to be scared of the shower. You know? I didn't want to take a shower when I was little because, well, where we were in this one house, you turn the hot water pipe on to run the shower, and it would do this brrrr thing. I don't know if you've ever heard that or seen that happen, but it's like a, you know, I thought it was possessed or something. I didn't know what was going on. It scared the crap out of me. And I think that was part of the reason why I just was scared to take showers. So I usually took baths. But, you know, I'm over that now, of course. But, you know, and I do like water now. And I think I would love swimming. But I see I can't swim. So you know, I don't want to get anywhere where it's deep or anything because I couldn't make it back to shore. I can't swim. I can dog paddle. Oh my goodness, look at this water. I don't know if I'm going to be able to walk through that. Might have to just stop here. Oh. Yeah, you can tell it's been raining. And you know, I haven't noticed it raining like a lot, like heavy rain. It rains at night a lot. So if you're sleeping, you don't realize it's raining, but oh, look at that bird right there. I don't know if you can see it. Maybe it took off. I don't see it there now. There was a bird right there. A big old heron or something. Yeah, it's still there. It's still there. That's it right there, but you can't hardly tell. There it is. There it is. Huh. I can't even hardly see that bird in this camera at all. I don't know if I want to walk across this. Okay, I'm getting wet. Yeah. That was silly. Soaking wet. But I wanted to do it. Okay, let's go see if we can see this bird here. It didn't fly already. Huh. Must have flown the coop. Flown the coop. Flew the coop. Chicken coop. Is it like a coop d'etat? It's French. So I see some big events happening very soon during the summer, probably. Biden was over there. Old Mr. Magoo right there, you know. Russia's not going to get away with this. We've got a coalition. Really? Yeah, after they rocked Turkey with a 7.8 earthquake, they started doing what they were told, I guess. And any other country wants to go against them, they'll level them, right? That's what it looks like to me. People are just scared. Hey, Buster. Buster got the blue collar. There's only one blue one, because he's a boy. And the other two got light gray, because that was the only color they had. I don't think I'd like a red collar anyway. It's like you don't want the collar to stand out like, you know, like it's some sort of an accessory. I'm not an accessory person, and my dogs aren't either. I don't know, that dog might actually get longer hair when she gets bigger. Thought she was going to be like a hound. I think she's more of a shepherd now. Couldn't ask for 3 better dogs though. Man, they mind pretty good. Little Bear, she has troubles when she's out in front and she goes, anything goes by, she's gonna bark, and I tell her, no, don't bark, and she just looks at me. But she just keeps doing it. She just doesn't understand how I could infringe upon her rights as a person. The right of free speech. And then I think to myself, well, do I really have the right to take away her rights just because I'm their owner? I don't feel like the owner. I think we're partners, you know. They like being with me. You know, we're a team. And you know, if they could talk and they said to me, oh, I don't think I want to be here no more, I'd be like, well, all right. You know, I'd probably let them do whatever they wanted. But I don't think they'd say that. See, that's why I'm saying I wouldn't want to keep even an animal if they didn't want to be with me. You know, but we're friends, and we, you know, they enjoy their life pretty good. I feed them, rub their bellies, and they show me kindness and friendship too. Oh, here's that log that I was walking on the other day. You know, I was thinking too, see all this corn? This is laying around, the animals are eating it. And I remember I was saying, see, this is all cornfield. And of course, you know, there are no fields of corn in the United States. I don't think anywhere in the world that they're not genetically modified. Because all the seeds, whenever they plant these, of course, this is a wildlife refuge. And at first I didn't realize that. I thought, well, this is a farmer. But no, this is a wildlife refuge. And they grow that corn for the animals. Now, they may harvest it and take it somewhere and do something with it, but that's why they don't cut all of it. They left it to be gleaned by the animals. And I thought, well, that's nice. It's nice of them, right? But remember how I was saying all these animals are coming up dead around here? We saw that couple of dead raccoons, and one of them was sick and had, you know, literally like he had no hair. His body was full of ulcers, and he was just kicking and going through his last spasms of life. As we sat there and watched him, and it just made me cry. And there was another raccoon over here in the road, and I've been telling you guys, every time I go down to the river, I see another dead carcass. So I realize now why they're feeding these animals. It's not like they're just so generous. It's extermination. And you think, well, why would they want to exterminate the animals? Because, guys, when times get rough, they're not going to want there to be any fish or animals for us to eat. This is an absolute extermination. And this is why they made laws for 40, 50, 60 years. Slowly, you know, law upon law. You have to get a permit. You only get so many fish. Now, oh, it's endangered. You can't fish. You know, they started putting this in our mind that certain areas were endangered areas, and then it's like every river and every beautiful area is a park, or it's a refuge, or it's you know, a national monument or a national treasure or something, and it's designated management area where the government manages it, and you're not allowed to go there or camp or harvest the animals. So they couldn't just drop it on us like, okay, no more hunting, no more fishing. So what they did was they said, you got to get a permit. There's only a certain time of the year you can get a deer or an elk or a bear, and within that season you got to apply for a license and then a permit. And some of the animals were considered endangered, right? So if they're considered endangered, then you can only get, like, there's only like 20 people they have a little box, and they put all these, like, put 20 permits in this box, and you sign up for this draw, and they hand them out. Well, they probably just give them to friends and family. They probably don't give them to us poor folk. So it looks like they still allow hunting, but they really don't. It's, you know, they'll allow deer hunting a little bit. Very few elk anymore. They hardly let anybody bear hunt or anything because they're endangered. But here's what they're doing. You know how you hear, for years you've been hearing about all these species that were introduced, and somehow we don't know how they got introduced. These Chinese kinds of trees that just are taking over whole ecological systems, and they're killing other types of foliage and stuff, overrunning it. An invasive species. Heard this invasive species thing. Well, they're doing it with animals too. So we've been hearing for years that these hogs are moving in. Now, why don't you want hogs? Well, for one, most people don't want to eat these old wild hogs. And So not everybody really wants to go out and hunt hog. And the other thing is that the hogs, when they come in, they get rid of the deer. They run the deer off. So anywhere you got a lot of hogs, you don't see any deer. So that was their sneaky way of getting rid of deer season in a lot of areas. So we're down to the point now where just about every creek or anywhere alongside the road where it's managed by the government, and any place that's a forest or anything like that, that's Forest Service land, or if it's desert now, it's BLM. So you can't camp there longer than a day or so. I don't know what the rules are. And you know, you couldn't hunt or live there. You have to bring food from the store, because you know, you can't just not have money. You have to get permits. Permits are very expensive, right? If you were trying to get a fishing license and a deer hunt license and register your gun and register your body and your car, I don't know. Everything's got to be registered. Who's got enough money to register all this stuff? And then even if you own your home, you could pay several $1,000s taxes every year. What is that? Several hundred a month? So there's absolutely no way to live for free. And you can't live in the woods. So what they're doing is they're bringing everybody into the inner cities, into these HUD housing. They pay for your home and your food. Well, isn't that nice of them? Well, now they know where you're at, and they can run drugs in there and tempt you. You know, maybe put some prostitutes on the street. And down at the other end of the block, they got these little stores run by people from India. Oh, I mean, what? And so they get to make all the money on the mom and pops, right? Kind of. They work for oil companies, I guess. It's like they got a deal. I don't know. So us Americans, we can't get even jobs anymore. You know, all the little mom and pop stores now, or if there is such a thing, it's Chinese or from India or whatever, because the Chinese run the salons and Chinese restaurants, which aren't, most of the Chinese restaurants are privately owned, I guess. There's a few of them, like Panda or whatever, but even that's probably going to go away. But I've seen that they've been bringing these Chinese and people from other countries in to take away a lot. Even the doctor jobs are run by a lot of people from India and stuff. Other countries, they don't hand that stuff out to Americans. It's you can't even get into college if you're a white Christian. I mean, you notice on the little applications to get a government job, a lot of times they want to know what your religion is, right? Don't tell them. You're never going to get a job. You put Christian and white. Never going to get a job. And I don't know if you'd want a job. I wouldn't, but okay. Guys, I was talking away for about 5 minutes or 10, I don't know how long, and it wasn't even recording. Yeah. And I always hate that, because I'm always, you know, I say the interesting things, and, you know, and then all of a sudden I look down and all these interesting things I'm saying and you're not hearing it. I think the last thing that you guys caught was if you wanted a job, but you probably shouldn't, you know, they got it all rigged. I don't know. But after that, I don't remember what I was even saying now. Yeah, so that, you know, you can't go hiking. Or last time I went to this place, the ranger searched my truck, and the time before that they gave me a ticket for not having my dogs on a leash, and this was out in the middle of nowhere. There was no signs that you had to have your dogs on a leash. It was just out in the middle of nowhere. There was nobody around, and but so that's the way they're doing it. They're not going to let us have any food. So what got me on that subject was the fact that I think this corn that they're planting is all genetically modified, and I think it's killing them. It's killing the animals. I think they know it. And it's killing humans too. It's the same stuff that they feed the humans. They might make some maybe the corn that's out here is even deadlier than the stuff that we eat, because these raccoons and all these birds and animals seem to be dying pretty good. So they're ruining the earth. They're trying to destroy the world. I think if it's the devil that's doing it, he probably would like to destroy the earth itself, so that humans would have no home, because he wants to kill all of us, because they're going to go to prison. You know, Jesus is coming to throw them into the outer darkness. And says they tremble. So maybe they're thinking, well, he's coming, so let's destroy the earth before he gets here. That's what I think they're doing. They're trying to destroy us. And a lot of people just, people just don't want to believe that could be possible. They just don't want to accept that it's happening right now, all around us. I feel dirty just walking through the woods. There's all these varieties of ticks and mosquitoes and things I don't think are natural. I think they're invasive, and they put them here on purpose to ruin the environment. I don't think they're natural. You don't even hear about mosquitoes and that kind of thing in the Bible much at all. You hear about flies and gnats. Oh, I don't know if you can hear me. It's windy. I guess I better turn around. Wow. Just a nice little walk. I think my camera's full too. I've got all these videos on it, and I haven't cleaned it, so this might click off again because it might just be full. I did get rid of a couple, but I can't get rid of some of them because I still haven't loaded them up to Rumble. Silly. You're a silly dog, aren't you? Yeah. Alright, yeah, we can jump, I know. But you're all wet, hun. You're just all wet. See, and you're muddy wet. Look at this dog. Look at this dog. He's just so happy. You can't dampen that dog's spirits, no matter what you do. No matter where that dog is, he's gonna be happy. You get a pile of mud, or you're just a happy dog. Buster's a little more serious. She says, "I'm the man around here. I gotta be serious." All right. Yeah, stay away from that mud. That dog gets in the mud and then jumps on me. So I'll probably go ahead and give it about another 5 minutes. And if we don't see something really nice, we'll wrap it up. I mean, it's a beautiful day, but it's just windy and there's nothing, no flowers or anything to take pictures of. And all the birds flew the coop. And they're killing all the raccoons, so. I mean, there should be just, people don't realize this, but if there weren't so many people and all this stuff going on in the world the way it is, you'd be walking through here and there'd be raccoons running across the road, and possums and birds and squirrels everywhere, coyotes and everything just everywhere. See, that dog doesn't want to walk on the ground. She wants to walk in the mud. And then you think you're going to get back in the truck that way? What the heck? No, you're muddy. Don't jump on me. Boy, the waves. I think that is the Tennessee River. I thought there when I come out here last couple times, I thought maybe it was just a tributary or something running off of it, but I think that's the actual river. Tennessee River. I think there's a song. You know, what are these things, we have a brain that stores things, memories, like a computer. And on our computer, if the memory drive gets full, you're done. It's inoperable anymore. You can't function no more. It'll crash. You have to erase it and start over. So the human brain must be vast. I mean, but we do lose memories and then kind of like replace them. We forget a lot of the childhood stuff. But it seems like everything we've ever done is somehow stored somewhere. We do have access to it, like, trance states and when we dream, I think we can remember things. But so maybe all this music and all this stuff that we've been learning, all this ignoramus information, knowledge, it's not real knowledge, like how to build your own prison. Useless knowledge is being recorded in these young people's minds, like music. Just, they remember all these songs. Like, I don't remember any of them because it's not important for me. So my mind, I mean, yeah, I remember when I was a kid, these songs that would play all the time, over and over again. And it's like sometimes you can't get a song out of your head, So I'm just wondering how much of that, when people dwell on things and they're just always dwelling on it, especially when it's not even positive things, it's a lot of the music is just got almost like a demonic beat, and it's vulgarish, and it's over and over, and it's just trying to remember. It's not, you'd think, well, it's not that much to remember, it's just some words in the song, but it's the sequence and how, and when the beat comes and how it sounds and the way to enunciate the words and how all this is retained in your memory. It's a lot of data, and it's useless information, because a lot of these songs, we don't even think of them anymore. There could be like hundreds and hundreds of songs that we don't use today. We don't remember much of it. It's in the past. The old songs, old one-hit wonders and stuff, but they're still playing. All of these songs are still playing in the back of your mind. And then think about all the movies and all the books you've read, and then useless information, the stories and the novels and the fiction. And then think about people that sit and do porn, and they're concentrating on this lewd activity that they're like, well, nobody's getting hurt, and it's pleasure, right? So because it's so pleasurable, I think it's recorded, and it's stuck in your mind, this lewdness, this way to feel about women, the way to feel about men, how to treat people, how to respect your body. All this will be downloaded into these children to feel like they're not even humans. It's like, it makes them feel like a merchandise. They only have worth if they're beautiful. And now they don't even know what beautiful is. They're being told that they're only beautiful. I mean, look at this poor Madonna. You have to feel sorry for her. She's possessed of Satan. She has no will of her own anymore. She just does what they tell her. She got into the Kabbalah. They hate Christians and they worship Satan. And I imagine they're doing all kinds of rituals. And she's been abused and passed around, to all the elite. And I think that's what's going on over there with this Madeline in Germany. But if, like I said, I don't think we're going to find out what's going on, because it'd be like Epstein. She'll come up missing and we'll never figure out what happened. But I wish somebody would get on that story. About as much as I can do here. Nobody's watching my channel anymore. But we should open and expose this stuff, guys. Anyway, I'm going to probably just close this camera thing. And my hand's getting tired of holding this phone up. and head back to the truck and see you guys tomorrow. Hope you have a wonderful day and Lord bless you. Bye-bye.